Hello, I'm Matt Guff from House.com, and this is a 2020 Salomon Villain Snowboard. The Salomon Villain Snowboard is kind of the brainchild behind Louis Paradis, a professional snowboarder who I believe is French-Canadian. Louis rides this board. He's been riding for a good amount of time. It's a park freestyle deck for intermediate to advanced level riders that want a true twin board with a centered stance. The Villain is pretty dang well known for being a pretty hard charging park board. It has lots of pop, it's really lightweight, and there's a couple of additional laminates that kind of give it some explosive style properties without making it too catchy, and also kind of easy to press at the same time, which is actually pretty cool. So with this true twin platform, of course, you can ride it, either direction, obviously. And then with the pretty unique profile shape called rock out camber, it's a great combination of both flat, a little bit of camber, and a little bit of rocker. In between your feet, the board is actually raised up and has a flat section. And then underneath each foot, there's a little camber that goes out to a rocking roller section. That rocking roller section lifts up those contact points just slightly, makes it a little bit easier to ride, initiate turns, and makes it less catchy. And then you add in the freestyle edge bevel, the 1 degree base bevel, that helps this board kind of like be less catchy. In combination with that other stuff, it's actually pretty nice. But still, that camber and that lifted flat section provide a good amount of pop directly behind that back foot. I kind of like the Villain in the rock out camber profile shape kind of for that reason. It's actually pretty quick. So if you like quick ollie snaps and you need to set up fast, that pops can be right behind that back foot. The feel and flex rating of the Villain sits around a 5, but it's a firm 5, I think almost a 6, because there's actually quite a few, additional carbon laminates that are laid into this thing. There's an Aspen style select wood core, tip to tail, rail to rail wood core that's been hand selected, and it features a popster profile shaping. That means that there's a standardized thickness underneath each foot and in the center of the board, but the core has been milled and thinned out on the medial sides of where your bindings are. The reasoning behind that is that Salomon and Louis wanted a board that was easy to press and have a flex point on the medial side of your bindings instead of in front of your binding closer to the nose and the tail. Now with that sturdy platform on the nose and the tail, you can still press over the top without any worry of buckling over the top because that flex point is there, which is actually pretty cool. Now the Villain has a thing called Popster Booster, and it's actually kind of two separate things in one word. The first one, of course, is the Popster core profiling that we just talked about. The second is actually an additional laminate on the nose and tail called Booster. It's actually 4 strands of carbon in 3 different sections that start and radiate out from the outside of the insert pack. One of those strands goes right down the center of the board, and the other 2 go from the center to each contact point. The cool part about that carbon layup is that, again, it has a nice, good bit of extra energy within the nose and the tail. It has good energy transfer right to the contact point, so when you're railing hard and just carving around, you have better stability in the entrance and the exit of each of those turns. And then in between the feet, it's not going to be as stiff. It's still going to be torsionally pliable, but a little bit more stiff than a board that features biax glass at 0 to 90 degrees, because the Villain features triax glass both on the top and the bottom. So it's going to be a little bit stiffer on the nose and the tail, a nice sturdy platform again, but still easy to press because of that milled out popster profile section on the medial sides, which is pretty cool. The Villain is a fast board. It'll go as fast as you can take it, basically. It's not extruded, it's sintered, so you need to keep it waxed up and maintained throughout the season. You notice that it is die cut, so keep your eyes on that. Again, there's that 360 wrap standard steel edge, and there's one additional piece that kind of makes the board stand out a little bit more, and that's actually in the ABS style sidewalls. It's called Slingshot. And Slingshot, as you can see represented here in the color yellow, is 4 millimeters of rubber that's sandwiching a small carbon strip, and that again adds a little bit of extra power and pop, and then that dampening of that rubber is nice for riding over negative, kind of like riding over chunder and things of that sort that causes leg fatigue. This is a great board. It has a really cool graphic. They kind of melded out a little bit, but I do have to say I like the white. For some reason, I'm kind of drawn now to like white boards. I had a couple white boards when I was younger, but then they have that that kind of like day glow yellow, which is a nice little touch. You can find some nice bindings to match up with it. This is the Villain for 2020 from Salomon. Great deck that you can check out at the house. Thanks for watching. Peace.